Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Draymond Green, Steve Kerr drop stern reactions to Warriors' brutal loss versus Timberwolves. The last few games have not been doing Coach Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors any good. They have only won 4 out of their last 10 matchups, which means that the Houston Rockets, who won 9 out of their last 10, can bump them out of the play-in race. This squad really needed to win over the Minnesota Timberwolves to get ahead in the standings, but it was to no avail. Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and even Klay Thompson showed up only for their efforts to be foiled by Anthony Edwards. The Warriors had an opportunity to notch a 5th win out of their last 10 matchups, but their late-game schemes were just not enough. Stephen Curry still poured his heart out in this game, but his efficiency caught on to him. He went 9 for 21 on field goal attempts and knocked down all 8 of his free throws for 31 points. Klay Thompson delivered a spark off the bench with 16 points while Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, and Jonathan Kuminga combined for 41 points. All of this would have been impressive scoring numbers, but the Steve Kerr's defense was picked apart by the Timberwolves. The 49-win team managed to knock down 52.5% of their shots from downtown. They also notched an impressive 47.6% shooting percentage from all 3 levels of scoring. This barrage led to a 114-110 victory. Anthony Edwards led the way by recording 23 points and 8 assists. The Warriors did manage to make him miss 11 of his field goal attempts and make him cause 2 turnovers, but he had backup. Naz Reid also got 20 points, while 4 other Timberwolves managed to score more than 10 points, which combined for 52. The Warriors were obviously dejected after this loss. Coach Steve Kerr was the first to unveil his feelings on the loss. He particularly took issue with Reid overwhelming the Warriors' defense, via Anthony Slater of The Athletic. "He kills us," Kerr declared about the Timberwolves' big man. Draymond Green was the next one who got real about the Warriors' current conundrum. "We had control of the game at one point and just gave it up, then never got it back. It sucks when you have to win. In order to win, you need to build good habits. So, I don't think we have great habits. Until you play with great habits at all times, you lose. We lost a lot of games that we should win. In this league, you have to win the games you're supposed to win and steal a few that you're not supposed to win," the Warriors forward said. Green added that the Warriors should have won over the Timberwolves, but they just could not close the game out. This squad is now slowly backsliding in the standings. The Rockets have all the momentum due to their winning streak. They are now looking to usurp them of that play-in spot. With that said, the Warriors need to pick up the pace and, much like what Green said, win games that they are supposed to win. Steph Curry minutes, or lack thereof, and 3-point defense issues send the Warriors into a play-in freefall. Not to bury the lead, but there were plenty of reasons why the Golden State Warriors lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves, besides the fact that Steph Curry's substitution pattern suddenly changed. The most glaring reason, the Wolves' 3-point shooting. They put up a 21 of 40 clip from beyond the arc, 52.5%. They had their way when it came to getting open shots on the perimeter, and the Warriors didn't have the requisite height to bother them on closeouts, lacked the effort to run shooters off the line, and were also on the receiving end of variance on some of the shots the Wolves attempted. The Warriors are among the bottom teams when it comes to opponent 3-point frequency, 37.6%, 25th in the NBA. In other words, they allow lots of 3-point attempts from opponents. Some of it is by design, in that they almost always are compelled to help off non-shooting threats to add an extra help defender to pack the paint against possible drives. The evidence for the statement above, the Warriors are the best team in the league when it comes to limiting opponents' shot attempts at the rim, with an opponent rim frequency of 25.3%. On the surface, that seems like a stat indicative of an elite defense, but in the Warriors' case, their efforts to wall off the paint and the rim is a consequence of the lack of height and rim protectors across the board, which forces them to have to pack the paint and scramble if things break down up front. Which leads to the other reason why the Warriors have been giving up so many looks from the perimeter this season. As has been extensively profiled this season, there has been a noticeable blend of subpar point of attack and pick-and-roll defense that has placed them in rotation, resulting in a backline defense that is either too small and/or too slow to plug the gaps created on the perimeter. That theme has been prevalent this season. Whenever they fail to contain up front, the subsequent help contingencies make them vulnerable to open three-point looks. If this is something you've heard before, well, get ready to learn season-wide defensive issues, buddy. The point of contention in the possession above is Andrew Wiggins' inability to stick to Anthony Edwards. The Wolves run a pin down for Edwards, followed by a dribble handoff, DHO, angled to make Edwards run through the elbow/slot area. Wiggins switches onto Edwards, but is screened by Conley, which forces Tracy Jackson-Davis to step up to help Wiggins recover on the trail. This triggers weak side help, Klay Thompson tagging and switching onto the rolling Rudy Gobert and Curry defending two players on the weak side. Curry has a choice between Jaden McDaniels, shooting 34.9% on threes this season and 35.8% for his career, and Mike Conley, 42.7% this season, 38.5% for his career. Curry chooses Conley, which triggers Edwards' decision to skip the ball to McDaniels. To his credit, he drills the open shot. Isiah Thomas issues Rockets warning to Lakers, Warriors amid playoff bid. The Houston Rockets are arguably the hottest team in the NBA right now, on an 8-game winning streak that has them within striking distance of a spot in the NBA play-in tournament, and Isiah Thomas issued a warning to the Los Angeles Lakers and Golden State Warriors that if they slip up, the Rockets are there to take advantage. I think they, Warriors, do hold on because of their experience, but I'm telling you, them Houston Rockets, they coming, and they playing hard, Isiah Thomas said on NBA TV. And you know, the Warriors and the Lakers, the last 2 years, they should be thanking Adam Silver for the play-in. Yeah, they should be thanking Adam Silver for the play-in, because if there was no play-in, these two teams would be out of the playoffs for the last 2 years. It's crazy. And to answer the question about the Rockets, hey, they've won 8 straight, playing great basketball. They're confident, they're young, and they're taking on all comers. So Golden State and LA. There's pressure to keep winning, because there's somebody knocking on the door, and they're, Rockets, not going away. Despite the injury to Alperen Sengun, the Rockets have played great basketball, with the latest performance coming in dominant fashion with a 147-119 win over the Utah Jazz. Jalen Green scored 41, while Fred VanVleet put up 34. With 12 games remaining on the schedule, the Rockets will have to continue to win at this type of clip to have a chance at the NBA play-in tournament. They are now 35-35 overall after being well below .500 before this winning streak. It is a remarkable show of determination after Alperen Sengun's injury and one of the better stories in the NBA right now. The Rockets currently sit 1.5 games back of the Warriors in the Western Conference, and 3 games back of the Lakers. Houston has 1 game left on the schedule with Golden State, but does not have any with Los Angeles coming up in the final 12 games of the season. Houston is scheduled to play several strong teams, like the Oklahoma City Thunder, Dallas Mavericks, Minnesota Timberwolves, Orlando Magic and Los Angeles Clippers down the stretch. However, with it being the end of the regular season these next few weeks, the Rockets could benefit from other teams resting players if they are locked into playoff position. That will be a storyline to watch for over the last 12 games for Houston. It will be interesting to see if the Rockets can make this a tight race down the stretch with the Warriors and Lakers. Based on current form, that should happen. Up next is a home game against the Portland Trail Blazers before a tough road game against the Thunder. And you, fan, What do you think of the situation of Isiah Thomas? Leave your opinion in the comments.